What is up, Trash Pandas? Welcome to another edition of Moto Monday. Thank you for making it through the weekend. That means you rode safely and you made it back here the next week, right? Good stuff, good stuff. We have a cool episode for you today. Cool because it'll help you out if you ever get into this situation. Not cool if you happen to get into this situation. Let me show you what I mean. That little guy right there. That's what's causing me to be upset right now. That little dude. Yeah, not the best, right? So, obviously you can tell something like that just happened because you see your tire flat, but it's not always as visual, as noticeable, right? Sometimes if you're just under a few PSIs, you can actually still feel a difference in the bike, although visually you won't be able to tell that your tire is flat or punctured. So a few things to look out for. If the bike feels off, and what I mean by off is just like a little wobbly sometimes. Maybe you're hitting potholes or bumps and it doesn't feel right, like it doesn't correct after. Sometimes if you're going around a corner, it just feels unstable. It feels like it's no longer on a rail, on a track. You just feel like you have a little bit more bounce, a little bit more play into the wheel. So just if the ride doesn't feel right, if it handles differently, something's up. Probably want to start looking at your tires. Another quick thing to indicate that you have a punctured tire, you'll notice that you balance a little bit better. Obviously, because there's less air in the tire, there's that hole, your contact patch grows bigger. So now that there's more rubber on the tire, or rubber on the ground, I should say, you can actually balance it a little bit easier because it's not as stiff, hard, and upright as it was before. That's what your mom said. So what we're going to do is plug it in with the tire plug repair kit. This is by Slime. They're not endorsing this, but it'd be cool if they did. That's your cue to like, hit subscribe, drop comment, help grow the channel, and hey, maybe one day we will be sponsored. Maybe we'll be giving away tire plug kits. Who knows? Who knows? Sky's the limit. Back to it though, we're going to do the tire plug kit, and there's a few reasons why I'm choosing to do this versus just repairing the tire, right? So first up, the tire is relatively new. This tire has less than 3,000, less than 2,000 miles on it, right? So it still has pretty thick tread on it. If it was a little bit barer or flatter, or it didn't have as much tread on it, I wouldn't consider it doing it, because then I feel like there's not enough rubber for it to actually make a good seal. So because it's not inside one of the beads, it's actually on a tread contact patch, I feel a little bit safer doing this kind of repair. Another reason why we're going to go ahead and do this is because tires are freaking expensive. Like, whoo! I think when I originally purchased this one, it was not what they quoted me today when I went to the dealership. I honestly don't remember. I thought I had the receipt saved for it. I'm going to look a little bit harder later, because I also thought that I purchased insurance for the tire. So that if it ever gets plugged up again, you don't have to pay for it. You just, hey, I got a something in my tire, and they offer that at certain dealerships or with certain tires. So I thought I had that. Turns out I didn't. Regular repair, service, all that stuff would have come out to like around $500. Unfortunately, I just did the maintenance on this bike, 15,000 miles. Shout out to Orsi Speed Shop, making it look great and run great. The only thing now to complete that package is fixing the tire. So let's get into it. Look at that ugly son of a bitch. You nasty. You nasty. All right, so first thing we want to do, sounds ridiculous, but we actually want to make sure that it is actually punctured and that air is leaking out. So what I did here was I made a little bit of soapy water together. It was like 1 pump of soap. And you can see it's like a little shot glass of water. So not that much is needed as long as it's soapy. We're going to take a little bit of that and then put it up on here. And what we're going to be looking for is that, just that. As you can see, I just put like a dab on there, like a droplet. And it's already just bubbling up like crazy. Let me get a little bit closer. Yeah. So that's not good. That's not what we want right there. So the reason why we want to do that is to make sure that that is the actual puncture, right? There might be another hole in the tire, and that one's actually fine, but it looks worse. So, make sure that that is the hole that is actually leaking air out of your tire. I am a firm believer that there is a tool for every job. We're about to see which one of these can take that little screw out. Very important though, before you take the screw, nail, whatever it's in there, make sure that the tire is not fully up to pressure, right? So let it deflate a little bit. Make sure that it's at least kind of soft and moves in a little bit. That way you don't have all that pressure that's about to get released as soon as you take the nail out. So let's see if we can get that out. Oh, we can touch it. We can feel it. Oh yeah. Oh, it's in there. It's coming out though. All right, got the tip of it removed a little bit, so it's sticking out a little more. Can use the vice grips to clamp on, and I think it's a screw. I think I see some threads. I'm gonna be pissed if I pick this up at work. And oh man, this motherfucker. Oh, fuck it. Son of a bitch. All right, so far, step one, we made sure that it was indeed the right hole, right? That we're not gonna remove a nail out of nowhere and just start plugging in willy-nilly. So we made sure that that's the hole. We deflated, and then we removed the hole, step two, right? Or remove the nail, step two. Step three, we're gonna use the tire plug kit, and specifically the file that it has in there to clean the orifice. That way the plug kind of sits in there a little bit nicer and neater. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and give it a little clean. You'll see how I'm gonna do that. All right, ladies, keep your panties on for this next segment. This is just a demonstration, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the tool. Notice how it's kind of like filed off, right? So it's all rough, rugged, and ribbed for the tire's pleasure. Cleansingness. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in there and work it through the hole, in and out. Oh, really got it now. Hear it hiss. But pretty much all we're trying to do is clean up the hole a little bit. So I'm twisting and pulling at the same time. Just making sure that any spare crap that was in there is out of the way. Cool, looks clean enough for now. Not gonna lie, I'm a little worried that it might be too big for this. So we'll find out ultimately. Next step, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna use the actual tire plugs and insert them through the tool about halfway. After we do that, we're gonna go ahead and push it into the tire. So you got these guys going. They're all sticky and muggy, and it's not too bad. That cleaned off all right. So we take the chingadera, we put the chingadera through the chingadera tool and try to get it halfway through. That looks about good. And we're gonna apply some of that glue onto there. That way it helps make a nice seal. All right, so we have the rubber cement. Keep in mind, blah, 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 highly toxic, don't inhale, blah, 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 don't get it in your eyes, blah, blah, blah. Do not induce vomiting. That's an important one that it said. So if you accidentally eat this because you're a freaking idiot, try not to throw up, you know? You're gonna have a good trip for a few. It's gonna be all right, maybe. Or just don't swallow it, right? Just don't swallow it. How about that? All right, so I'm trying to get it in there as much as I can, cover it all around. I'm not too worried about the last edges of it because I know that it's just gonna get dragged through when it pushes through the tire. Nonetheless, good coverage, right? Make sure it's all spread out as best I can because I don't want any to seep through. All right, cool. And why not? A little dab on there too, never hurt it, right? Just boop, a little sploot. We're gonna take that, push it through, and it says about 2/3 of the way in. So, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and then quickly pull out. Bam! Just like that. Oh my God. Is that it? No freaking way it was that easy. No freaking way it was that easy. I don't believe that. Next up, the instructions are telling us to make sure we cut off any excess. So I'm just kind of clearing off the excess glue. And see, give it a little cut. Try to cut it flush to it. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good razor blade. That's a good razor blade right there. Getting it from all angles here. Bam. Wow, that looks disgusting. That is literally, I'm gonna get in there. It is literally a butt plug kind of looking situation there. Take some of the cement, smear it around, so if it does something, right? I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, cool. Looks a little bit neater, I hope. All right. After that, we're going to go ahead and let it dry. Give it a few minutes. It's already pretty tacky, which is good. So we're just going to let it dry for a little bit longer, and we'll reinflate the tire up to PSI, up to spec, and then we're going to test it out one more time with that soapy water just to make sure that we have a good seal and that it's not leaking again. All right, Trash Pandas. Down to the final step here. A little nervous. We're about to see if this works or not. So, pumped it back up to pressure according to the indication on the frame. Next up, we're going to go ahead and take a little bit of that soap that we had prepared, right? And hopefully no bubbles. And I don't think I'm seeing any bubbles. Oh, you hear that? All right, being serious. Being serious now. Come on, people. We're here for a purpose. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call that good. No bubbles. The patch looked like it came out just a little bit, but that was kind of expected for it to bulge out. Yeah, wow. Excellent. Freaking excellent. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing. Go ahead and drop a comment. Hopefully this helped you out in a pinch. And you'll be all set to go if you ever get a flat tire. Trash Pandas, until the next time, take it easy.